have receded as parts of Gaza again came under heavy Israeli bombardment overnight. At least 20 Palestinians are reported killed on Tuesday. Rockets fired from Gaza killed 2 Israelis. The U.S. Secretary of State is in Israel. Hillary Clinton's had a 2-hour meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu. She's due in Ramallah later for talks with the Palestinians. Our Middle East editor Jeremy Bowen is in Gaza. His report does contain graphic images.
In Gaza, Israel's twin-track strategy looked like this tonight. More raids while the diplomats talked. Hamas was shooting too. All day, civilians were running for cover, either side of the border. This was Gaza after another Israeli strike. While this was going on, Hamas and Israel claimed to be ready for a truce, as long as it was the kind they could both present as a victory. In Israel, when the alert sounds in its battered frontline towns, they have as little as 15 seconds to get to the shelters before an impact. The residents are skeptical about ceasefires because they've seen so many that haven't worked. Not far away, Israel's ground forces were shelling Gaza. The operation has been supported by its allies so far, but they want a ceasefire now, not the bloodshed of another invasion. The UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, shuttling into Jerusalem from ceasefire talks in Cairo, also told Israel's Prime Minister not to send in troops.
Israel must exercise maximum restraint. I strongly caution against a ground operation, which will only result in further tragedy.
And there's been plenty already. 2 brothers, Suyab and Mohammed, were among the dead of the last 24 hours in Gaza. Their father was killed with them. The boys' home was flattened, their mother badly wounded. The neighbors say that the dead children were found here in what used to be the garden, and the parents were inside the house. Now, I can't find much anger or sadness or even surprise about what's happened. That's partly because around here they've seen a lot of violent death, but also because in Gaza there is a strong culture of martyrdom. Civilians or fighters who die in the rubble of Israeli raids become national heroes. Those considered traitors have a different kind of death. 6 men accused of spying for Israel were summarily executed in the street by men thought to be from Hamas. By late afternoon, more rockets were being fired at the Israelis, who dropped leaflets telling Palestinians to leave the border areas.
The Israeli Defense Army does not target you or any other member of your families. For your safety.
Civilians fled, as instructed, into Gaza City, using routes Israel said would not be attacked. The villages and refugee camps they left behind were shelled. A day of ceasefire rumors ended with more fear and no more hope. Jeremy Bowen, BBC News, Gaza.
Well, let's dig